This is Monday, 25th of November, the year of our Lord, 2024. Live from Europe on the question on our Africa World Media Television. Together with Pan-African Forum Limited, a Pan-African organization that handles public affairs, people's interests across Africa. Whichever country you are in, when you see my face, remember you are catered for. I will defend Africa. At the same time, I will make it a point that I speak the truth and also remove conflicts in our continent. Our African continent has a litany of conflicts, ranging from Libya, Sudan, Somalia, Central African Republic, and Democratic Republic of Congo. Our continent suffers, but priority is given to other continents, to other areas, Ukraine, Middle East. We have not got the share of why we are on in one planet, in one organization called the United Nations. We seem to be discriminated in the United Nations in terms of resolving conflicts that have killed our continent, Africa. Today, I will address you on two occasions. And I will want to show you why International Criminal Court has not used the Proprio Motu motion, own initiative, Proprio Motu, to enter, to initiate a preliminary action against states, against those who have committed crimes against the states of Libya and Cameroon. Ladies and gentlemen, this broadcast is going to be a testing ground. The whole of last week, and I will continue with this week, the filing of applications as commanded by the Roma Statute, in the context of the Roma Statute, that anybody aggrieved whose country is a member state can go and table evidence to the office of the Chief Prosecutor of International Criminal Court. I've tabled evidence last week on two situations that I would like the Chief Prosecutor of International Criminal Court to deal with. How, when, what depends on them. Mine, as an international affairs, African affairs, public interest, law expert, international relations expert, a conflict resolution expert, I have delivered my mandate. I have put situation number one, Mr. Sarkozy. Mr. Sarkozy was the president of a country called France. As you know, we have had problems with this country. Other colonial masters and the colonial powers have left us to do the way we do as Africans, our things. But France has refused to go away. France has refused to give us space as Africans, ourselves, to engage, to solve our own problems. It has interfered in all our matters since 1884 to date. It does involve itself. It does not want to give way like other colonial masters. The British gave way. The Americans were also colonized. They gave way. The French have not given us sleeping good nights. We have been battling in West Africa, military coups upon coups, coups in Conakry, Guinea-Conakry, coups in Burkina Faso, coups in Mali, coups in Niger, several changes in Chad, killing people in Chad, president killed, coups, now a war in Sudan, wars in Somalia. What does this country, war in Democratic Republic of Congo, war in the Central African Republic, you find one name that links all these wars, a country called France. But today I'm not talking about France. I'm talking about one individual in France. And that individual is Nicolas Sarkozy. Mr. Sarkozy was a great friend of Libyan leader in quotes towards the end of his tenure as a president, first term as the president of France, and towards the end of Muammar Gaddafi's days. They became good friends. As usual Africans, we have to blame ourselves. We tell more things, secrets, to the foreigners than telling more about ourselves. So this is one of the things that I'm now trying to unravel. The story of Nicolas Sarkozy, a president of United Republic of France, became a friend of Muammar Gaddafi. In businesses, money was given out, money was taken out of Libya. This money later on became a problem, a crisis. It became a crisis to repay either. It was used to blackmail Muammar Gaddafi. A resolution 17, I will not go in these details because you all know what happened after resolution 1970 and resolution 1973. A problem arose. Human rights were abused. NATO was mandated. But people, the point I want the ICC to mark, and the people in the world to mark, that people used Resolution 1973 of the United Nations Security Council under the guise of that resolution, siphoned the oil, the resources, the money of the people of Libya. The companies of Mr. Sarkozy to date continue to deal and do business with the Benghazi sector of Libya. As we speak today, Libya is divided into two. Human rights continue to be trampled on. Abuses continue to be committed against the people of Libya. But the man behind all this, a man who was found guilty, a man found guilty by a court in France of fraudulent money laundering, convicted, extra money of 4 billion euros, unaccounted for. No African Union official, no African Union president, people have not said why this money was found within possession, and a court in France found Mr. Sarkozy with this money. His party did not have it. Officials said, we don't know where the money came from. The court convicted Mr. Sarkozy with others. In Africa, we have kept quiet. We have moved on. Gaddafi's legacy has caused us, has gone into ashes. Nothing is remembered on Gaddafi on this continent of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, this should not happen to any African leader who should be killed, and we don't remember him. Patrice Lumumba was killed by the Belgians. His tooth was taken for 64 years over. We have been crying for this tooth. We have not got it. We have not got it. We got it just recently. Nobody told us where Patrice Lumumba was. This should not happen again. Today, my accusation, criminal activities are for the government of France. I'm not touching the government, the state of France. I'm touching personal responsibility. A personal commander, a personal boss, a mafia boss who stood in Paris, commanded, executed, supplied what took place, even called African Union, Jinping, Secretary General, to stop the plane of the 5 leaders who were going to evacuate Muammar Gaddafi. Personally, we have got imagery, satellite telephone conversations that can prove, that we shall prove in the court of law in ICC once the ICC initiates its investigations to find out whether what we are speaking is correct. We have labeled all these documents. We have put this evidence, submitted to the ICC. It is up to Mr. Karim Khan to wake up, not to run everywhere in the world. If you say you are under an obligation not to enter certain countries, why have you rushed to issue warrants to countries that are not members of ICC? Why did you issue warrant against Israel? Why haven't you issued warrant against Mr. Sarkozy? Sarkozy, who actually masterminded, took everything, abused the human rights, killed people in serious circumstances that I have attached to the evidence, to the filing that is today in your court, in your chamber, in your data. Fellow Africans, time comes when you speak out. And when you speak out, you can become a target. But Malcolm X said, if you keep quiet and you say nothing, then you are nothing and you have said nothing. For me, I've said something. African leaders who enjoyed Gaddafi's money, Gaddafi's patronage, none of them has come up with this case. I have taken a longer route as a public affairs legal expert and international relations expert, conflict resolution expert, which the tools of analysis I gained from reputable universities in the United Kingdom. I have taken a route to make sure that I bring this matter to the international scene. Let the chief prosecutor decide. If my evidence is not enough, let him ask me for more. If that is not enough, can he do Article 15, Proprio Motu, enter, Proprio Motu, enter any state that has no UN mandate or that is not mandated, not under the ICC. Thank you. On that one, I move and I said, you have seen all my statements on this platform. Read them. Read the reasons. Read the analysis. Read the evidence. Become a public prosecutor like I am. Become a public investigator. Investigative journalism does not say you sit and label lies. You must go. I have gone. I've used my money. I've spent time in hotels. I've spent time on airplanes trying to find out how a country in Africa can be dismembered into 2 parts, and the people who dismembered it, who took the money, are still walking free.